What's going on, y'all? It's Jason Reviews here, back at it again with another video. Crazy weekend, you know what I'm saying, in the battle rap world. GTX just had their VOD. I saw Next was going crazy versus Diz. Got to see what the results of that battle were, as well as Outside 2, which nobody got to see, but saw a little bit of updates for. We're seeing some crazy things. Klutz might have shocked the world, you know what I'm saying? Flair Nitty had a good one. A lot of stuff to talk about at Outside 2 as those battles are going to drop. I'm going to do a lot of reviews, but none of that, as for today, because we are going to be doing predictions for RBE's Divide and Conquer 2 event happening in about 2 weeks. I have been extremely excited for this, and I was waiting for all the battles, or at least like the big time, marquee battles to all get announced so we can like talk through the card. Predict it in detail. I've mentioned a few of these battles in different videos, little tidbits of where I might sway. And if you follow me on Twitter, my Twitter's always in the description, by the way, if you want to follow me there. I throw out a lot of takes on the daily, and a lot of those, on these battles and how much I was looking forward to them. So the first Divide and Conquer, in my opinion, is one of the best events in RBE history. And also, for at least this week, expect a lot of RBE content. This might be an RBE week, so if that's your favorite league, you know what I'm saying? I just think it's definitely time to focus in with such a marquee event coming up. The first one being great, and now you got Murder Mook and Big K in the main event, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But enough babbling. Let's get right into the predictions. So I know the card is supposed to have, I believe it is 10 battles. Little flyer I have here has 7 of them, and I know as you get to the bottom, I'm trying to think if I can even remember. I think that there's a ladies battle. I think Tato is battling. J Slash could be battling, if I'm correct, but a couple of people that I'm not familiar with, or I'm familiar with one of them, but not their op, or neither of them. So focusing in on pretty much the top 2/3 of this card. And the first battle we're going to talk about is Suave Seva versus Remedy Loco. Remedy Loco, kind of, unfortunate situation where you're supposed to get Reed on the Blood, Sweat, and Tears card, then Reed, no-shows, I believe it was, or back to weird situation. Battle obviously never got made up. And here we go with Remedy getting another vet shot, this time against Suave, which I would say, while it is still kind of that real talk feel, pretty decent, matchup, Suave just really hasn't been performing at a rate of anyone who really cares that much lately. Last battle versus Anderson Burris, not just a one-off, but even before that, I really couldn't tell you the last time Suave won a battle. And with that being said, that doesn't mean that I'm going to go against Suave here, because Remedy Loco hasn't shown me too much either. Win on Excel is pretty much the best thing he's done up to this point, and while it was decent, he's very animated in his style, and different people like different things in battle rap, and he obviously has his fans, but I just think it's a little bit too much. And while there is good bars in there, it's not that crazy to be doing kind of the hyping of himself he does. I think there's elements of good performance and charisma in there, but it needs to be toned down and used a little more strategically and effectively, rather than just this. It's like a Danny Myers scream for a round. Take that for what you will. So with all that being said, there is a little bit of a toss-up there, but I will go with Remedy Loco 2-1 edge. Definitely could see a world where Suave wins, but until I see Suave really motivated, he wasn't motivated for Anderson. I don't know why he would be motivated for Remedy by that logic. So Remedy Loco 2-1 edge in a battle. From there, we can get into Show Off versus Chef Trez. Goody, you know what I'm saying? For people that are confused, by the way, because Chef Trez signed his exclusivity deal and is now on this RBE card. There's now, rules in place where if you were to sign a contract to another company in battle rap, you have to finish all your prior obligations beforehand. Rosenberg and Chef Trez, if you guys remember, was supposed to go down and straight to it. Didn't happen. Chef Trez still owed a battle. As you can see, this is the battle that he owed. And I think this is just going to be good. I don't think it's going to be the craziest battle. I don't think it's going to be a bad battle either. I think it's going to be solid. Show Off's last appearance in the Blue Room, I believe, is versus Jag. Might have been his last battle in general. And he was really good versus Jag. He lost that battle. He stood in front of, for whatever reason, some randomly incredible Jag. But Show Off was really good. As for Chef Trez, he's just been doing good lately. Heard he was just pretty good versus Twerk on Outside 2. But even before that, I thought he got a career win versus John Dodon in a grudge match. And even if you look at some of the battles that aren't that good, None, obviously not a good battle, but he did get the W, and he beat Authentic for what that's worth. So he's on a good little streak, and I think that he continues that here. I think it's going to be a good one, maybe even debatable, but I'm going Chef Trez 2-1 edge just because he's on a little bit of a roll lately. Definitely the most momentum he's had in years. There is a potential he's a little unmotivated, but Chef Trez never chokes. There's never anything like that happening, and since he's pretty much guaranteed to give you 3 rounds plus 3 decent rounds at the least, plus whatever rebuttals he can factor in, and not being the most angleable. For all those reasons, I'm going with Chef Trez 2-1. Next 2 battles to get into, we're going to go with QB versus Robin Rhymes. Shout out to ARP, man. When he has talents that are kind of like he considers a staple, he holds him down. Robin Rhymes is definitely one of those. She got the Bonnie look. She got that. Now she got the QB look. I'm sure she got other looks as well. And I don't know if Robin Rhymes really has the talent level to go with QB. Now, if this was QB, the one that verse 40, that just looked like she didn't need to be here at all. You know what I'm saying? Was barely rapping and just saying really awful things out loud that occasionally rhymes. Then maybe Robin Rhymes have a chance. But ever since that disgusting 40 performance, I think QB's gotten a little bit better every battle. The Shayna battle wasn't even the craziest, but it was like clearly a step up. And then from there, you get to the no, it was A Ward, which was a step up because her 3rd round was good. First 2 rounds weren't good, her 3rd was good. Then she battled Shayna, pretty good performance throughout, not the craziest. And then you battle Caution, and you just tear her apart. A good Caution at that, who I also think is better than Shayna, or better than Robin Rhymes. And for all those reasons, I just don't think Robin has the ceiling to be competing at this weight class. And I have QB 2-1, but probably 3-0 clear in that battle. From there, you get into the brick versus brick matchup, Payne versus Coach Corleone. Probably the 2 best male bricks. Still Caution there. Yeah, maybe at 2-3. There's a debate, but. You have Payne versus Coach. 2 of the guys really holding it down for the brick movement, this brick class of upcoming talent for RBE. Both of them did pretty good on Divide and Conquer 1. Coach Corleone was good versus Magic. I think the gas really hurt him on camera, which is something I kind of knew watching live. It was so over the top that I'm like, yo, people are going to hate this. Like, people are going to be mad just because it's happening. And a lot of people do have Magic winning that battle, really good Magic at that. But Coach was good. I don't want all the gas, just because the backup squad, you know what I'm saying, the entourage kind of ruins the footage a little bit. Don't overlook the line just because it's not the craziest every line. Doesn't mean he still wasn't doing good. But with that being said, I thought Payne versus Bad News was like a great battle, like a real surprise. I thought it was going to be good, but I didn't know it was going to be that good. And he's showing this ability, this real talk bag, which I'm liking. Penn is pretty good too. Performs and projects, doesn't seem to have any type of, stumbles, anything of that nature. His whole undefeated streak thing, could probably couple there that could be debated. I mean, you could debate he lost news, right? So but he's going to continue that here. Nobody's really taking him out clear, and I don't think Coach is going to be the guy to do that by any means. I think Coach has got a little bit of an unorthodox style. Heavy, though, on the punchlines, but Payne can just do a little bit of everything. The kind of substance that you kind of feel his material as a listener. Rare ability to kind of draw people in like that. And for all those reasons, man, I'm really impressed with Payne. I think he's the head brick of his class, and I have him 2-1 clear in another good battle. The Blue Room does produce good footage, so wouldn't be surprised if this is another good battle. Then we can get to the top 3 battles of the night. First one I'm going to talk about is Ill Will versus King Los, simply because I don't have that much to say on this. King Los, I think, is pretty good, one of the better celebrity, battlers to come to the culture, and he's battled pretty consistently. Head Ice, 1 pretty good performance. DNA, I thought he lost, but I thought it was like he was, really good in the battle. A lot of people think he won, which I think is it's a little bit of overpraise. I don't think he had 2 rounds clear over DNA by any means. But I thought that was a good battle. Then you get to Daylight, the worst of them. It's it's Daylight. It's always some weird stuff happening. But he is battling Will. Might be his hardest challenge yet, just because Will has a reason to win. Coming off of the Hollow battle. Maybe this is bridging the gap before a Hitman is on the table or something of that nature. And while Los is good, he's just not Ill Will good. I think Ill Will is the best battle of the year up to, right now with Hollow Denon. I think he comes in here versus a decent Los and just shows why he is Ill Will. So I have Ill Will 2-1 clear, possible gentlemen's. So on to the final 2 battles of the night. First we have it says Rosenberg on the flyer. That's hilarious. Charlie Clips versus Rosenberg Raw. battle that a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, there's question marks on it. And if you've been watching this channel, especially for the last few videos about clips, I haven't been nice to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, Charlie. You're one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying? I think you're one of the greatest of all time. But he's been committing acts of terror against battle rap in very broad daylight. You know, just the freestyling of the round, just the not caring in the written material. I don't, it's been disgusting, disturbing. And Rosenberg has been really good, really holding it down. I thought his Jag performance was really good. He definitely earned, you know, one of these bigger look type of plates. People debating if he's the king of RBE, especially since he has, even though I don't think he, you know what I'm saying, that'll be a conversation to have one day on the channel. Maybe I'll hold my thoughts on that. But he, you know, he has beaten Will and Big K, I'll say that. So there's that argument for him. Probably the most momentum he's ever had right now versus Eclipse, who has not been carrying, and that would lead you to think that Rosenberg Raw should win this battle. After all the shit I've given Clips, I'm gonna have Rosenberg winning this battle. But I'm stupid. That's what you underestimated, is that I'm dumb. And I actually have Charlie Clips winning this battle 2-1. Now, why would I have that? Is because sometimes you can't just always base off a recent track record. He should be punished for the way he's been performing lately. He shouldn't even be booked, you know? But with all that being said, there's a reason that he is. And what it is that I feel like these gods here, level battlers, these old-time legends do when they have moments like this, Arsenal and maybe a Verb is another good example, is that they'll just have like just muck, like 3 or 4 in a row where it's building up. It's like, what the hell is this? And right when you count them all the way out, they're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna try. And then they get up and they give that performance. And as tough as it is to say is that I should go with Rose because of the recent performance rate, because of how he's been holding it down, because it's his opportunity. At the end of the day, when we talk peaks, even though Rose's peak is going to be good, I think he's going to be good in this battle. I think this is going to be a good battle, contrary to some people's belief. But even if Rose hits its peak Charlie Clips is just better, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of the best ever. And I think you get into this like pseudo, it's shot very similar to a volume. Setting the Clips has been good in. Now, obviously, he just had a volume versus Calico where he didn't try, right? So everything's pointing to him not being good again. And for some reason, that's just making me like have to go the other way when it's almost like that much of a layup. It's like too good to be true. Now, if Clips does come in here and stink it up, I'm probably double click. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just predicting Clips to lose every battle. I don't know how I'm going to feel. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to feel a lot of anger. But in this moment, first time in a minute, too, that I picked him. But I do think that Clips brings kind of rare form, shocks some people, and possibly gets this battle. I'm going to say 2-1 clear, but hopefully it's debatable. I think Rose is going to be good, too. But I think it's going to be one of the more underrated battles of the night and possibly a battle of the night contender. And that leads us into the main event, the main point of this card. And that is Murder Mook versus Big K. As said in my initial thoughts on this battle a lot of people didn't like. But further goes to show, as I talked a little bit about Robin Rhymes earlier, and very clearly here, ARP feeds his people, the people that have been loyal and figureheads of RBE. He keeps up there and gives opportunities. And he gets Big K, you know, one of the main god tier shots in battle rap that a lot of legend battlers, you know what I'm saying, would take. Blue Room, and I think that people like this really helps Mook in a small room. And I want to say what Mook did versus Rock was great. But, you know, most certainly was. Even though I think the battle's closer than people give her credit for. But obviously, Mook was great in the battle. Gets the win by consensus and earned the win. You know what I'm saying? Great execution of angling at that. But that was an empty room. The room he's dealing with here and the room he dealt with there are two completely different circumstances. I think empty rooms specifically always are going to be best towards the best pure rappers. Not the best pens. The best pure rappers, and I think Murder Mook is one of the best just in terms of rapping ability, like just going out there, rapping, flow, cadence, all that. He's one of the best ever, one of the most influential ever in that category. And it's still going to be good in the volume. Big reason that Big K succeed, or in the volume, in the Blue Room. It's still going to be good in the Blue Room. At the same way Big K succeeded in the Blue Room versus A-Ward, a great pure rapper himself. But it is going to be different in that sense, and I think Mook is going to have to be just more bar-heavy than he's been. I think he's going to have to really just say a lot of good shit. I don't think there's a ton of angles. I think he is going to work angles. He's one of the master anglers this game has seen, so he's definitely going to have a variety of approaches. People were debating if the white angle pops up. Definitely versions of it. I mean, Big K has said some things that could be, you know, interpreted kind of crazy out there. There's no question, you know what I'm saying, that he definitely presses that boundary. There's going to be a few angles about a few comments that he's made within this culture. And On the flip side of that, I do still think that that's not going to carry, and there's not so much history there where you can just angle him all battle, and he can't just do the. I just need to see more than the scheming, the copy and paste schemes, the 2012 schemes, the outdatedness. I just want to see some creativity, punchlines, and nothing wrong with scheming, but just a little lighter on that, because just the basic word association is not going to garner, I think, that reaction he needs. It's not always the most intricate if we've heard the references before, and I do think Mook has the pen. I've seen the Dracula bar that he did versus Rock, the whole vampiric thing that he broke down, Can't Look a Man in the Mirror. I've seen those flashes of creative writing, and I just need to see it, stretched across 3 rounds. Now, I do think if there's any time to do it, it is going to be here, even if it's just some K-flips and things like that. We just want to see if the pen can be creative, and I think a lot of people are usually just turned off by the outdated writing. And as for Big K, a big point I've made over and over and over again is he's really good at breaking down the simple angle. His third versus JC, short jokes, very simple, very upfront angle that normally doesn't pay off, did it to perfection. His second versus Big Cannon, fat jokes, does it great. The Christianity material that we know is coming versus A Ward does great. And I think here versus Murda Mook, there's a lot of material. I think Tay-Rock's first versus Mook is a good touching point on a good example where he's talking about, you made the foundation, but we put lights and electricity in here. Talking about how God tiers kind of abandon the sport or don't actually put in the work of other guys who've worked over the last 10 years on camera. I think Big K is the perfect guy to execute a little bit of an angle like that and kind of talk to Murda Mook. On top of the fact that he's clearly, one of the better punchers in the game, has the ability to get into pockets. As I said, he is an underrated angler and the ability to do comedy. This is one of the few times I think Murda Mook is facing someone that's more well-rounded than him. And for all those reasons, I do have Big K 2-1 edge in a great, great, great battle. And that is my full predictions for the RBE Divide and Conquer 2 card. A little bit longer here. Definitely wanted to give some real in-depth analysis on those top 2 battles because I find them very interesting. Although both of them, by some people, look like they're just bad matchups or misbooked on paper, I think actually the randomness of it is something you need to see more in battle rap. There's just top tier. They're always finding reasons to not make a top tier battle, another top tier, or corner this off or corner that off. Dude, we have league wars. We have people that already it takes forever to get them outside at the top of the top. You have the same 4 top tiers popping out to give shots every year, which is great, but you need this little bit of randomness. You need sport. This is sport. You know what I mean? Murda Mook, we always complain, his resumes and this, his resumes and that. Well, if he just waits around for the one grudge match to build up like he's been doing, it's going to keep being like this. I salute Murda Mook for taking a battle like Big K, just a dangerous top tier, and there's no reason to take him, but why not? Because he's a dangerous top tier. I mean, I'm sure he did it for the bag, but it doesn't, the matchup, I'm just a fan of that. I'm a fan of Clips and Rosenberg. Just these different kinds of big time matches that we didn't see coming, because that's what makes the sport exciting, is when you're caught by surprise by good battles. But those are all my thoughts. Looking very forward to this card. As you guys can see, I have a lot of different thoughts on it, and I will be sitting there May 6th for those of you cop your pay-per-view on RapGrid to watch hopefully another great Divide and Conquer event. But it's been J Small Reviews again, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you're looking forward to most in the Divide and Conquer 2 card, and I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.